Hello, my friends. Welcome to our last live Ask Max session for today. Tonight at 9 o'clock, we are going to have a special broadcast. I put the link in the chat window. maxsteingart.com/special webinar. And I invite all of you to show up. We're going to be sharing some exciting new information about some of the things that the new features on Facebook and on LinkedIn that can help you build your business. Now, if some of you have any of your profiles you want me to look at, James, it's nice to see you. Just let me know what you want me to do. Okay, we're here to help all of you. And if any of you have any success stories, please, feel free to share them. Now, for those of you that are coaching students, I have just finished up. In fact, let me in our boot camp toolbox, we have a new training, how to catch a whale. And for those of you that are coaching students, send me a message over on LinkedIn, because I have an advanced one that includes details about the project launch scripts. It's not in this one. You have to be a participant of our retreats to be able to use that one effectively, but this one here is golden. And just send me a message over on LinkedIn. It's too big for me to just shoot it over to you, so we'll just send you the link. We've got it saved on the internet, and you'll be able to download it. Okay. Now, if any of you want me to look at your profile, then please just give me the link that I can just click on and bring it up. Okay, so like I said, just please type in whatever questions you want me to ask. So here's one. When reaching out to folks on LinkedIn and they do not respond, do we try to send a message again or move it along to the next contact? Well, actually, when you reach out to folks on LinkedIn, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to send them a message and a connection to connect. So the most important part is that they accept the connection, that you are connected to them. That's the most important thing. Then you send them an icebreaker, and if they respond to that, then clearly they're an eager socializer. If they don't respond to that, it's okay. You're still connected. Now, if you send the next message to them and they still don't respond, it's okay. All right? You have to look at their profile. You have to identify what their hot button is. And what I'm going to do to demonstrate it, I'm going to pop over here. And Brian, you just popped up right at the perfect time. Whoops. Brian, pop in the I just need your email address. For some reason, I'm having a mind freeze, and if you just pop in the email address, I'll pull it right up. I thought it was BB, but there's another initial in there. Little things. Okay, let me unmute Brian. And so Brian is talking to...
How you doing, Max?
Hey, Brian. So who are we looking at?
Well, Greg just popped in, like just before the
Okay. Okay.
webinar here.
All right.
And then
All right.
several more from last night that reached out a second time. And
Perfect. Well, what we'll do is we'll do Greg. Then we'll come down a little further, look at some of the other folks. And folks, this is going to give you an idea of how this process works, okay? So let's take a look at Greg. So he's at Hertz. He's a branch manager for Hertz. And now notice up at the top his URL. He hasn't done anything with it. Hasn't edited or anything like that. If you come over and look at his contact information, well, you can see his birthday. And it looks like you just connected with him today as well. So we come down here, experienced branch manager. And so he's been working for Hertz for almost 7 years. And before that, he worked at Walgreens for 24 years. All right, so you reached out to him this morning at 8:22. He wrote back at 9:10. So he's been with him for 10 years.
yeah, I got personal. Just went in and talked about what's going on with my company. I added a little more.
Yep. Right, it's conversation. Slower at my location in April, but busy now. Now, when you look at all of the people that you're talking to, and if we just go over here and we just put the little link in there and go like this, if he was still watching this, he could see that you read it and he thinks you're typing back.
Right.
All right? So now, in order to get people to react and talk to you, what you have to do is you have to pick out something on their profile to get a conversation going. And he's going to be pretty easy. For example, he was a function manager at Walgreens for almost 24 years. So and you come down here and look at his education. See, he's got a marketing and management degree, associate of science degree. So, the question is, why, I understand Walgreens is a good company. Why did you leave after 24 years, after 23 years? What prompted you to do that? And so a lot of times, the opportunity to discuss income comes into play. In other words, is he making more money as a branch manager at Hertz than he was making at Walgreens? Now, the closer you are to the present, obviously the better. But let's say he was working at Walgreens, he was a function manager, he was making, let's say, 80 grand a year, and they reorganized, they let him go. Now he's over at Hertz, and he's making 60. So he's making less money. So that is a potential need. Ideally, when they go from company A to company B, they're making more money. Now, the thing is that there's no clear need for you right here. Okay, in other words, he's not looking for a job. On the other hand, so what's happening with Hertz? In other words, are they closing locations?
I was looking for my sheet to find that out. Something's going on, either chapter, they're doing a bankruptcy or just closing a lot of locations.
Okay, so you kind of plowed the field there. Our company laid off. How slow at my location, but busy now. It's the summer. So, of course, what you can do is we go over to the net. Is Hertz closing locations in 2020?
Plans for bankruptcy.
Whoa. Okay. You know, I have to tell you something. My wife has a lot of friends.
Mm-hmm.
And among all of her friends, everybody thinks she's a genius. Okay? My wife has got the finger on information on every subject. You want to know how much Brad Pitt is worth? You want to know what, I mean, she knows it all.
Right.
And the truth is, always she comes over here to Google, pops it in there, and it comes up with the answers.
Kind of scary.
Yeah, well, it is, and now, because of this COVID-19 crap, she can't go out with her girlfriends. She doesn't get to, have lunch with the girls, go on her little pedicure trips and all that other stuff, and she can't go shopping. So now she has discovered how to shop online. Okay? and I mean, I love her. She could have anything she wants from me. And one day I made a tactical mistake, and I gave her my password to my PayPal account. And now every day I'm getting these little messages, something was a charge. She doesn't spend a lot of money. She doesn't buy expensive stuff. But, it's an activity, it's an action. And I'm just curious to see how much online shopping has increased since this COVID stuff. Okay, so here we come. Now you got something to talk about. Slower at my location in April, but busy now. Okay, so what we want to do is we can come back and say, that's good. But busy now. Busy
is good.
Busy is good. I just read that Hertz filed for bankruptcy in, when was it? May?
Oh.
Yeah, I think it was May. Let's see. May 23rd.
May 23rd, yeah.
And we could say, along with a lot of other companies.
Right.
So the question is, how does that affect you? Which is what you want.
What's your question?
Exactly. So what you always want to do is you want to think about the question you want to ask. Okay? And then you can kind of go back and, create a little bit of the conversation. Now, what I want you to notice is if we look down Brian's communication sheet here, these are all the people that he has to talk to. Now, Paul here got his first message, his first connection message. So when you reach out to a stranger, the fact that if they're over here, it means they accepted you. Here, Bree accepted him. Greg, look at all these people. Now this is from the 13th. So you got the first message, then you got the follow-up message, and what's going to start to happen is you're going to start to see all these opportunities to talk to people. And that's what it's all about. It's all about conversation. So how is Greg being affected. Is he going to lose his job? What, he may know, he may not know. And another question to ask that you're going to pull right off of his profile is, what prompted you to leave Walgreens to come over here? And, listen, Walgreens isn't in any great shape either. So another thing that you also want to consider is when we talk about circles of influence. If they go bankrupt, how many people? He's the branch manager. So how many people work? How many people work with him? Okay, that's going to be one circle of influence. Another thing that you could do is we could come up here and we could say, show me Hertz, and let's talk about branch managers. How many Hertz branch? So there's 11,184 branch managers on LinkedIn that are all affected by a bankruptcy. We can come over here and we can go to locations and let's put in Texas. And this is probably where you'd want to do it over on Sales Navigator because you'd have to do it by individual city. But the bottom line is you have a wealth of opportunities to talk to people. You got somebody else we can take a look at?
Oh yeah, J.D. Rice there. He's another one.
Okay. All right. So the follow up. So you reach out to somebody, hit them with the first message, then you hit him with the second. Hey, it's nice to get. How long have you been on LinkedIn? For a while, but I haven't used it much until recently. All right. He's a marketing sales. He's another one that works for Hertz.
Yeah, I kind of focused.
So again, we come down here. So he's worked with him for 4 months. Whoops, no, 5 years. Now, one of the things when you're talking to people, on their profile, they put down what they do. Many times, they don't put down their entire resume. So he's worked for Hertz for roughly about almost 6 years. So what did he do? What did you do before you worked for Hertz? Would be another interesting question. So here he was an area manager. And now they made him a market sales executive. Why? What's the story here? Why did you? What prompted the change? How is he being affected? So we could come back and we could say here, 4 months ago. Haven't used it much until recently. Of course not. Now you're looking for a job. So, so we could say, I see a new position at Hertz. We could say, what prompted the move after, what was it, 4.5 years? After 5.5 years. After 5.5 years. Or what prompted the what prompted the change? People love talking about themselves. On for a while, but I haven't really used it much lately. So we could say, same for me.
And several friends are, make it personal.
Right, same for me. It's only been a few months since been using it, and I'm amazed. Now we said that up there, so we could say here, and I'm having so much fun connecting with people. Well, it's only been a few months since I'm using it, period. I'm having so much fun connecting with people that addicting. Okay? So this is one professional talking to another professional about their circumstances, and it's all about learning about the other person. We go over to Google. Now let's do this other one here. Let's Brian.
Yeah, Max, you wouldn't back on JD. You, since he said lately he's been using Sales or LinkedIn, would you kind of tailor a question around that to see maybe and he might come out with a why he is?
Well, you could. You're absolutely right. You know, you're absolutely right. You typically what you want to do. As a matter of fact, that's a better answer. See, because what you're doing is you're picking up what he just said on for a while, but I really haven't used it much until recently. So how come? You know, why are you? You know what? Yeah, you know why? You know why are you? Why? Why are you using it recently? That's a great. So, but you could, yeah, exactly. You could always come back and say, you know, you said earlier that you know you only started to use it recently. You know why? You know, sometimes you'll think of a question, and you could go back. I should have asked this question 6 months ago. I should have asked this. You know, you can always ask it. You could always weave it into a conversation, as long as the subject is about them. Okay.
Yeah.
And so let's look at this. I think it's amazing. So we have a line that you can use, looking for opportunities. And you're really going to town on Hertz. Okay. So, and let's see what does he do at Hertz. So he may be out of Hertz. Yeah. So they let him go in March after 3 years. And before that, he was with Avis. Well, he was with Hertz. Then he went over here. Okay. And now what you're looking for, so he's got strong sales professional.
Yeah, and I do read that.
Okay. So now we can come back over here. I've been on LinkedIn for, I think it's amazing. Okay. And so now, again, to demonstrate our social media expertise, this is a great line. When Microsoft bought LinkedIn in 2016, June the 23rd, a day that will live in my heart for the rest of my life. Okay? They bought LinkedIn in 2016, or actually since Microsoft bought Lincoln in 2016. They've made so many changes that they've turned it into Facebook for professionals. We go LOL. So now we want to ask him a question. He's looking for an opportunity. Now, we could say he's looking for an opportunity. Now, when somebody says they're looking for an opportunity,
Looking for a job.
yeah, so far it makes getting cars at my location much easier. Okay, so the bankruptcy, now all you have to do is come in here and go like this. So he sees you're reading it. Okay. So it makes getting cars at my location much easier. As a, okay, so now.
So you didn't really address it.
No, well, you know, he wants to be
Professional.
Yeah. So far, it makes getting cars at my location much easier. So where is he? Let's take a look at his profile again. So he's in Waxahachie. Okay. So okay, so all he's talking about one thing. He's saying as far as getting cars, it's much easier. Well, that's about cars. Okay, so we could say that many we could ask him, you know, many companies are you gotta love spell check. So we could say, I'm reading. Now we always want to ask questions that are open-ended questions. Questions that begin with the words who, what, when, where, how, why. So let's come back over to Brian.
Instead of just a yes or no question.
Exactly. Although sometimes it's not a bad idea to ask a question that can be answered with yes or no, because we want to get the conversation going again. So now, this guy here says he's looking for work. So when somebody says they're looking for work, obviously the question is why. Now, so you would ask, well, why did you leave Hertz after? Why'd you leave Hertz? If he's we know we know why he's looking for work. He's not working. We could ask, why did you leave Hertz? And we know Hertz is in a bad way. But let's find out. Did he leave Hertz on his own, or did they let him go? Now, another thing we noticed, he worked for Hertz for almost 4 years, then he left for 2. Why'd you leave? And then, but here's the thing you want to consider. When you're talking to people, you're looking at their circle of influence. Okay? You want to look for people in fields where their job description includes managing people, training people. The best network marketers are teachers. So we want to keep that in mind. So what prompted you to leave your job at Hertz? Why'd you leave? Maybe he didn't leave. Maybe they terminated him. The whole idea is to keep the conversation going. Learn about the other person. Look for an opportunity to find the need. That
Max, is that when you just start steering your conversations towards trying to find out if there is a need, correct?
Well, yeah. Well, and look, anybody that's looking for a job has a need.
Has a need, yeah. Right.
And so the only thing is they're looking for jobs. And
but if it was someone else, is what I guess what I was thinking, is your conversation after it gets to be, back and forth, do you start tailoring it towards asking more of those need questions, or questions that will pull out, hopefully, the need?
Well, actually, you start asking those questions right from the beginning.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, the first. See, asking somebody what do they do is going to give you a lot of information. You might, sometimes people will give you an answer and it's going to tell you right there that this is not somebody that you even want to continue to talk to. Let me see if Josie's here, because we did something. Yeah. Let me flip over to Josie's account, because I want to share something we did with Josie that is really going to be, I think, helpful to a lot of you. All right, now, from time to time, and let me unmute Josie. Okay, we're back.
Hey, Max.
All right, so let's take a look at what was the name of that person that
It's in the. I sent the name list to you, so check the.
yes, okay,
Yeah,
so
I sent it to you
yes.
before our coach.
Right, so we'll come over here and say it was Zubair.
Yeah, this guy, the second guy.
It was
yeah.
Zubair, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the sooner that you have an understanding of whether you want to continue to talk to somebody or not, the better. So Zubair here Let me shut some of these down. So we're going to look for Zubair. And enterprise sales consultant looking for my next sales opportunity. Tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember. Involve me and I learn.
Oh.
So we come down here, technology sales specialist and sales executive, looking for a new position. No, he started a new position. Well, so we come down here and he just started a new job. Wait a minute, no, he's looking, so since, no, he's looking for a new job. And he's in the UK.
Because Jeunesse is global, that's all. That's why I'm reaching out.
That's right.
UK.
That's right. And okay, so follow the conversation. She reaches out to Zubair, and he says, "Thanks for the connection. I use LinkedIn for finding business contacts, and it works for me." So many of my friends have been forced to stop working because of the coronavirus. How have you been affected? So he says, I was made redundant, now taking a break, and I will look for a new job in a couple of months. Was there a reason you wanted to connect? Okay? A little, not, was it, and I'll look for a new job in a couple of months. So what is he going to do? Remember, we look at the answers. We look at the questions or their answers, and we look for questions in those. I'm taking a break, and I'll look for a new job in a couple of months. Well, it must be nice if he's going to take a break. So now, and we've already gone over this. She, sorry to hear that you were made redundant. Are you open to an internet business? Now, we already know this is not what you do. And depends on how it works. So, this is not, it's kind of, we haven't identified a need. He's already told us he's taking off a couple of months. Now, I'm sure with your strong sales skills would make you successful in this business. What experience have you had with network marketing? I am not interested in pyramid selling. And I was explaining to Josie, who is from China, about baseball. Okay? So in baseball, you're at plate, you got 3 strikes and you're out. You can swing at the ball, but if you strike out, you're done. 3 strikes. So I'm not in, so first, was there a reason you wanted to connect? Let's look at his contact information for a minute. Well, pretty much we can see everything. We can see his birthday. We can see his email. Okay? So, that's one thing. The next thing, depends on how it works. Well, but now he comes back and he says, I'm not interested in pyramid selling. So he is connecting network marketing with pyramid selling. So now you come back today or last Thursday. Hope your job search is doing well. What kind of job are you looking for? Well, I'm looking for a job where I sell software to enterprise customers. So what did you enjoy most about selling software to enterprise customers? Solving customer problems and constantly learning. So tell me, what do you do exactly? All right? Now, as you start talking to people, you're going to have great conversations with people that are warm, that are open, that are, just forthcoming with a lot of great stuff. And then you're going to get people like Zubair.
He's very special.
Yeah. And so the best thing that you can do when you run into people like this is the sooner you recognize you want to be talking to somebody else, the better. But what we did was we came up and addressed with Josie, what do you say to somebody that isn't into pyramid selling? All right. Now, in the document we have here, we have a great example of an explanation of pyramid selling. And now we're about to add to that. Whoops. Oh, we didn't send it to him. Okay, right. So here it is. And I'm going to copy this and I'm going to give it to all of you. Because he says, I'm not interested in pyramid selling. Now, again, we talk about how and I'm just going to flip back over here to How to Catch a Whale and remind all of you that when you're talking to somebody, that questions the legitimacy of network marketing. So in the chat window, we have some examples. I'm going to give you another one. When someone expresses negative feelings and doubt the legitimacy of network marketing, remember, you have better information about network marketing than the people that have a negative opinion. And I highly recommend, if you're in any kind of a relationship, to read Jerry Spence's How to Argue and Win Every Time. We're not arguing. We're not here to argue. We're not here to convince. So this is what we wrote to... No, this is what we would answer. We're not going to take the time to send it to Zubair. He's out. But we're going to save this for someone that's a little more salvageable. I'm not interested in pyramid selling. Well, selling pyramids is against the law. And I value my personal reputation and would never participate in anything that was even remotely illegal. There's a huge, huge capitalized difference between an illegal pyramid and a legitimate network marketing company that enables professionals with an entrepreneurial spirit to build a business around products that serve a huge market, are constantly in demand, and they are passionate about because they help so many people. Many network marketing companies have their stock traded on the stock exchange. Unfortunately, many people confuse the two. Now, if we wanted to get a little snotty, we could turn around and say, unfortunately, many uneducated people confuse the two. Unfortunately, there are many stupid people out there that confuse the two, but we're not going to get into that. Now, whenever I meet someone that has a negative attitude about illegal pyramids in general, something that I agree with. And they confuse it with network marketing, which is what the company I work with does. I understand that I simply have better information on the subject than they do, which is true. And I'm happy to show them what the difference is, because this information can change their lives. So whether they decide to get into my network marketing business or find another company that has products they can be passionate about, I feel that I've done them a great service. I'm not in the convincing business, and appreciate that many people will miss something that can be life-changing for them because their perception of network marketing is based on bad information. The facts are that the network marketing industry has enabled more people around the world to become millionaires than any other industry out there. So if you care to continue this conversation, I'd be interested in learning what your experience in pyramids and or network marketing has been. And then what you do is you send them, if you don't build your own dream, someone else will hire you to help them build theirs. So I'm going to copy this. And so this is how, we develop these scripts. I'm going to put it in the chat window. And, every once in a while, okay, you have the urge to just let go and tell some moron, give some moron a response, and all I can say is don't. Okay, don't. Once you decide that somebody is not worth your time, not worth your effort, talk to somebody else. Okay? Talk to somebody else. Whoops. So let me, let's see, I got cut off here. Let's see here. Here it is. Now, I got to tell you something. This was, this goes back to when I first discovered this whole process, okay? I'd only been doing this now for about, I think it was, I started the 1st of January, and it was about the 18th of February. And I'm having a chat back and forth with somebody, and they said something that just aggravated the hell out of me, and I lost my temper. Okay? And I'm not the fastest typist in the world, but you can just imagine me sitting there pounding on the keyboard with 4 keys. I'm sending them a message. They're coming back. They're pouring kerosene on the fire. All right? And I'm sitting there going, I can't believe that this person could be so uneducated, so prejudiced. And then all of a sudden I pushed myself away from my desk and I said, holy smokes, how I could get so passionate, so intense, talking to a stranger that I had no idea who they were. Blew me away. And then we slowly discovered, as you all are discovering, that people open up and tell you things. And then of course you send them, if you don't build your dream, someone else will hire you to help them build theirs. So Michael writes, how about what I heard in the past? I might be interested in your pyramid later down the road. LOL. And if somebody says that to you, I might be interested in your pyramid later down the road. Where is it? I have a great image that you can send somebody. And let's see here. Here it is. The longer you're not taking action, the more money you're losing. Okay? And, if you say it, people could get offended. But if you share the words of wisdom of somebody else, it kind of adds a little bit more credibility to the whole circumstance, the whole situation. Okay? Now, here's the bottom line. When you're looking to talk to people, we can be proactive. And as long as we're being proactive and we want to talk to people, let's talk to people that clearly have a need. Okay? And let's talk to people that have the largest circle of influence possible. Because what you're going to do is you're going to help them help the people that they work with, help the people that they're connected with also become successful. Now, for those of you that are coaching students, we're going to send you this advanced document. And what I'd like you to do is when you send me, please send this to me. Please indicate what network marketing company you're working with. All right? And the reason I'm going to ask you for that is because we have a project launch script built in. Now, I could easily fill in the generic one, the template. But what I'd like to do is help you understand how you calculate the numbers. And so let me know what network marketing company you're working with, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to take that document and we're going to customize it for folks in the various companies that we work with. So we're going to have one for Isogenics, we're going to have one for Jeunesse, we're going to have one for New Skin, we're going to have one for Melaleuca. I apologize if I don't name all the companies. And in our retreat, we're going to show you how to figure that out. And okay, so with that, we're going to be back, like I said, tonight at 9 o'clock. I was going to log into some accounts and, go over things. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. and 4 p.m., please come back. We'll be looking at your profiles. And let me see. Okay. Josie, do you have, do you have one more conversation I can look at? Oh, yeah, you sent it to me. So let me go over. I get so caught up in stuff.
Yeah, those two ladies, the last two, those two ladies are both from yeah.
Okay.
I mean, last two.
Oh, Joshua and Heidi?
Yeah, they both are from Pier 1 Import, and I'm sure they both have been approached by many of your students.
Really?
I'm sure, because I already sent them the information, but now they are not responding. My question is, what questions should I ask?
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Store manager, Pier 1. $18 years. 18 years. So you reached out to her early in the morning. She accepted you.
Mm-hmm.
So she writes back, the virus has caused the company I work to go out of business. I hope all your friends are able to return to work soon. The world is a different place now. How are you?
Because I'm sure she has been approached by many of your students.
Uh-huh.
So I changed the scripts a little bit.
Okay, well, you're kind, we're being a little, I'm doing well. Okay. So, I mean, you kind of, man, you're just going for it. Um, and again, but you didn't have the script that I just sent you. So, let's see. Okay. Okay, so so the mistake you're making here is you're not asking her
Network marketing experience.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And folks, see, this is what I want you all to understand. When Josie does this, and if Heidi was in your company, and a half a dozen other people did the same thing, and there's actually again, you don't want to do it this way, but she said absolutely. So what you really needed to do is find out a little bit more, but you're not really giving her an opportunity. See, the scripts that we're going to give, let me go there for just a minute.
Some people, I ask them about their network marketing experience. They just don't respond.
Mm-hmm. Well, typically what happens here is most of the time it's because you're asking it too early. So you're talking to this woman. She's about to lose her job. She's worked there for years. First of all, what prompted you to get into your profession? Why did you get into retail? What did you enjoy most about your job? What did she like being a manager at Pier 1 for all those years? What other positions would you consider in your next job? Because the answers are going to be very important. Now, if you can't find a position with another company equal to or better to the one you had with Pier 1, would you move into another industry where you could? And if so, what other industries would you consider? See, the difference between what you're doing and what Carol did, there's a reason that Carol closed 8 out of 10 people. Why? Because she's learning about them. When she gets to a point in time where the person comes back and says, no, thank you, gives her the wrong answer, she's not going to bring up the business. Now, there are many things out there that you'd enjoy doing that would bring you as much personal satisfaction as you experience working for Pier 1 for all these years, and you'd probably even make more money than you're making now. So what were the most gratifying and enjoyable parts of your job working for Pier 1 for all these years? Another way to put it, the pandemic has devastated many industries and companies like yours, but it's also created other great opportunities for professionals with your experience working with people. And this information you pull off their profile to leverage your love of training and your passion for developing leaders, whatever they describe. Now, if you could take your career to the next level by moving into a different industry and work with a new company that you were equally passionate about, what other industries would you consider? Now, these are some additional transition lines. Here's where you want to go. If you could dramatically increase your income and your quality of life by going to work in another large company outside the traditional corporate world in another industry, bring the team, because they're all out of work, you've built and trained in your former company with you, and help everyone dramatically increase their income while you continue doing all the things that you love doing, training, mentoring, list the things that they told you about in your previous job, would you go to work for another industry? So it all depends on how they responded to your questions.
Yeah, but what do I do now with her?
What do you do?
Yeah. I know I already made a mistake, but how do I?
Okay, so what we can do here, all right. Now here's the thing. What you did was you put her name up at the top. And how long ago was this? This was, well, this was last week. Now she already know if she's taken the time to look at this stuff, she knows what you do.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing that you could do is you could use that "oh my God" script, and you know, it's kind of the best that you could do, okay, is hit her with the emoji where you slap yourself in the head and you say, "Hey, I'm really sorry that I sent you this. It was meant for somebody else." Okay? And then kind of bring it back around to finding out about her. So here's the best you can do. Okay, we're gonna come over here. We're gonna grab the little folder. We're gonna come over here, and we're gonna pull up the little emoji where we slap ourselves in the head. And actually, this one will work too. Okay? And then we're going to go, oh my God. Heidi, I am so sorry about that last message. It was meant for someone else. I was talking to 6 other people, and somehow, whoops, you got their message. I wanted to learn more. Now, what we could say here, so many people want to make money from home that every time I go online, I get bombarded with messages about my business. Okay? So what we're going to say here is I had I had wanted to learn more about you and what you liked and what you liked about your job at Pier 1 before what you liked about your job at Pier 1. Okay? So now just we'll grab one of these. Okay? So let's come back here and we'll ask, what were the most gratifying and enjoyable parts of your job? Okay, and see if she responds. I mean, that's the best you can do.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, Max.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, now I got one more question here. What is the process the manager would use to bring in his team? Individually or on a team call? And Vivian, that's a great question. And I don't have time for it now, but bring it up again. That's an important element of what we're going to be talking about in the retreat a week from Friday. Because there's a process that a leader would use to bring in their team. Okay? First, you get a core group of people. You share it with them first. And the dynamics is then you look for them to get excited once they buy into it to invite more people. Now, I will be back, like I said, tonight at 9 o'clock. Folks, there is an opportunity for all of you that is frankly unprecedented in the history of network marketing. There has never been a better opportunity for all of you. Whether you're just getting started in network marketing or whether you have been in it for years, there has never been a better opportunity for all of you to build a fast-growing group of people. Many of you, by Labor Day, by the end of the summer, will have rank advanced 3 or 4 times. 3 or 4 times. and you'll all be a shining example to everybody in your company. They'll be edifying you. Everybody will want to know, well, how are you doing it? And most likely, you're not going to tell them. I mean, why would you tell your competition? I get that. So I will be back, like I said, tonight at 9 o'clock. For those of you that haven't registered for boot camp yet, I encourage you to do it. And until next time, best of luck in building your business. God bless.